Hey y'all, I'm JamesWright and welcome back to Wizards News. Today I'm here with Ben and Julie and we are going to be doing a few Fortress Chamber battles together. I'm a professor, Ben is an aura, Julie is our magizoologist, so you'll be able to see all three of them side by side. So let's dive in and do a few chambers. This video is going to be a little different from most, and that is because I really want to do a detailed view on all three professions and how they work together in a fortress. So in this, we're going to have the screen of the Auror, the Professor, and the Magizoologist all showing what they're seeing live and how they interplay and work together. And I'm going to take you through the first scenario step by step and show you how each of them work individually, but how they work with the other ones in mind. Because when you bring all three professions together, if they were all worth 5 points, they don't all together equal 15, they all together equal 20. Because together they can do things that they cannot do separately. I want to do a video coming up sometime in the future where I can talk about some of the specific things that can be done, and particularly when Magizoologists or Professors get a higher rank and hit a few more achievements. There are actually some things you can do where you can have over 100% defense so that they cannot take damage. There's a way that Professors can do that, but only with the help of an Auror, and there's a way that Magizoologists can do that, but only with the help of a Professor. And there's a few other tricks like that that I want to get into at a future time. This video is going to be more about the basic tips and the basic way that they can work together and how they can build off of each other. So first we're going to go through a video of the play where I'm going to talk about it and explain some things, and then after that I'm going to go through an entire session where we play a game and you can see in live time the way we're actually talking together and doing this. So let's actually dive into the first chamber. We're just going to do something easy and go from there. First off here, we're going to hold here in the room, and if everyone gets to this point where they pick a runestone, you can wait. And what you can do is wait until everyone gets to this spot, because the first person who picks a runestone starts the clock ticking, and you have 20 seconds to then get everyone in. So once one person picks it, the clock starts ticking, and everyone has the chance to get in. It makes it very easy for everyone to get in at the same time, because a lot of times you have 4 people getting in and you're waiting for the 5th person, and that person is taking forever and fumbling through it and trying to get to that stage. If you just wait at the runestone stage, then everyone can hop in at the same time. Next, we're about to start the stage, and what we want to do right now is use some of the spells down at the bottom, the hexes and charms, particularly the Aura on the left. He's going to be giving some focus to the Magizoologist, and in this case it was actually a mistake because it should have gone to the Professor to help him out. But here you can see how it disappears from the Aura's side and then reappears on the Magizoologist's side. And what that allows the Professor to do is then to use the proficiency charm that helps out everyone in the group. Now, the Auror can also use all of his hexes on foes and can put out a lot of that because he usually starts with a decent amount of focus. The Professor, on the other hand, does not have a lot of focus, and so often the Professor has to use potions. So here the Professor is going to use an invigoration draft to get more focus, and what this will allow him to do is to use the proficiency charm to help out everyone in the group. He may also then use the protection charm on himself because there may be certain things that come into play that if he has a charm on himself like this, then he can do more damage. The Professor also has a hex that he can use on his foes, and this is something that's very useful for him, but the problem is all of the hexes and charms that the Professor have need a lot of focus, and so therefore he's going to be using a lot of potions to get that focus. Here you can see the Professor adding the proficiency charm to everyone, and this will improve the entire group as a whole, not just one individual, but everyone playing on the field. And then we can move on to the Magizoologist. Now, right off the bat, the Magizoologist really doesn't have a lot they can do because all they have are charms. And the charms are there to help and there to heal or to revive. And so it's not going to do that much in there. So usually the Magizoologist is just going to grab a foe and start attacking, because there isn't too much that the Magizoologist can do ahead of time. Now, some players will actually allow the Magizoologist to sit out while everyone else attacks, and then the Magizoologist can heal. And what we ended up doing is that the Magizoologist took on one foe that came up, particularly if there was an Acromantula, and then they could attack that. So in this case, there was no Acromantula and there was no Urkling, and so she needed to take some more elites getting to an achievement, and so she just jumped in there and grabbed the elite instead of waiting for an Acromantula or an Urkling to come up. In this case, we ended up letting the Magizoologist take on one battle and then sit out for a while and just heal and help as needed, because a Magizoologist is very good for that. And particularly if any Acromantula comes up, the Magizoologist is fantastic for that because everyone else hates Acromantulas, But for a Magizoologist, it's no problem at all. For the rest, everyone is going to be picking what they are good at. And you really don't want to take the hardest person in the map. You want to take the easiest person for you. Because if you are a professor and you see a pixie come up, you are good with pixies and you are good with werewolves. And so if you immediately go to get the hardest item in the list, then you're actually going to be doing a disservice to everyone else. You want to pick the item that is easiest for you because that will help the entire group. Aura helps out by sharing his focus as well as spreading hexes everywhere. The professor can help out with the proficiency charm and help everyone boost their proficiency. And then the Magizoologist can heal and revive, and sometimes reviving is better than healing because it provides more. And then afterwards, everyone can use their cheap things like their Bat Bogey Hex and their healing and throw it on the person who is still left there. So when you're sitting here at the end waiting for everyone to finish, you can help out a little bit on the way. Now, this is our first battle together as the three of us, and so we were learning a few things and kind of playing around with things. You may have noticed that the Aura kept just giving his focus to the professor, and that may be very useful right off the bat if the professor needs more so he can give the whole group the proficiency charm. But most of the time, it's better if the Aura just hexes everything, because the Aura has a lot of hexes, and they're really cheap for him. So every time he gets one more focus, he can throw one more hex out there. So it's really nice to be able to hex foes that other people are working on. It makes it easier for them, and hey, you've got extra focus, so why not use it? Also, I cannot stress enough that it is important you pick the easiest one for you. So if you are a Magizoologist, pick the Acromantula or pick the Urkling. If you are a professor, pick the Pixie or pick the Werewolf. If you are an Aura, pick the Dark Wizard or pick the Death Eater. Pick the ones that you are proficient with. And most of the time, pick the easiest one in that list of proficiency, because the more you knock out, the more you give everyone in the group more focus that they can use. Every time you knock out a foe, everyone in the group gets more focus, provided that the allotment for focus is actually still there. Now that we've done that test battle, I actually just want to lay back and show you a full battle that we do all together in live and just kind of see how things go and what happens on one screen then affects that something happens on the other. It's very important that you know what you do affects other people in the group, and that way you can make better decisions to help you work together as a group. So let's dive in and take a look at this video, and I do have to say I'm sorry for the audio quality. We were at a park with a road nearby, and I was trying to make that a little bit better, just wasn't working. So bear with me on that, and hopefully it'll be better next time. Okay. So you can see you just hopped in, and the level is 2400. When I hop in, that bumps up the difficulty, and then when you hop in, difficulty bumps up even more, 5600. This is going to be fun.
I'll do what I do best. Because I think the rest are probably going to be... Actually, since I'm the one who first went in, I think what his theory is correct.
Okay, this time I'm going to give it to...
Leaky Builder?
No, Pixies, I think
one.
Against.
There's two. Cool. You can take the Pixie, because I know you like that.
Well, there's two Pixies.
Yeah, they're all for me.
Okay, here's an Urkling. I'll do the Urkling. There we go. Formidable Urkling.
Just had to wait a little bit, it popped up.
Yeah. I can take down opposing Pixies, at least in the lower chambers. But
If you're in a group and someone's having problems with stamina, it is sometimes better for the Magizoologist to step out of a battle and run away, and then the Magizoologist can heal from the chamber and help someone out while they're still battling and heal them up so they don't have to worry about healing potions. One of the fun things about having a group is the Magizoologist can do all these cool things so that other people don't have to think about stamina.
I need one of my own charms on me soon. This formidable Portkey is...
Stupid Pixie with only 3 left.
Only 5 left for me and the werewolf. You gotta love the guys you're not proficient at.
Work on you guys as soon as I get this Pixie.
I got it done, so
Urkling
I'm getting low, so if you wanna, what do we got left?
Okay, I just knocked down the Urkling, so I'll go heal up everybody.
I have one here. Here, I'll get the...
Okay, one for you.
I'll get the Acromantula there. Put something on him for him.
Do you want any more, or do you think you
I'm good.
Alright. Can I add more than...
I can edit out dings and bings.
Do you want some more?
Yeah, I need more.
Okay.
And so sometimes it's useful for the Magizoologist to sit out and just help and heal and let everyone else take down the battle.
Okay, that should be enough. I don't have enough focus. Well, actually, I do have enough focus for right now. It's only 2, because it's not the highest level. There's this one that doesn't take any
I like
focus.
seeing that health go up. without doing a thing. One more hit should take him out.
Feels good because I'm struggling myself.
That's okay. I will.
How much focus you have left?
I have 3 out of 12.
Here, I'll give you some focus. I just finished the guy. Focus. How much do I have left? I got 2. Is that out?
7 12, that should be pretty good.
I'm get that Acromantula. One left.
Are there any elite folds in there?
One tactic that some people do is just letting someone actually die, and if they not die, but certainly get knocked out.
Yes.
One tactic some people do is actually letting someone get knocked out because it's easier for the magic zoologist to revive
You're
them.
going to need to get me.
And then they get all of their stamina back, whereas if they're just healing, you're only going to get some of the stamina back. And also the revive is only 1 focus,
Alright, I'll get him now. I got that.
whereas healing is 3 focus. So sometimes it's worth being knocked out if the foe is particularly difficult, or if there's a lot of stamina to be healed.
I just put the potent stimulant, so I'm killing the guy now.
Okay. Yeah, that's good because I only have 1 out
Yeah,
of
I
12 focus right now.
I got this. That one you gave me was all I needed.
As long as you keep 1, so if they get knocked out, then you can...
Okay, what do we have left? I guess I'll take the,
Oh, that was the formidable ones. Those like dodge, Lorne.
I got the lead fold this time, so that was nice.
Oh, too bad I don't have any focus for the bravery charm. And that would help you guys out.
Acromantula! Oh no!
So get up around 800, 900 for the ones I'm proficient at. I got it.
Yeah.
Since I put a hex on, he hasn't hit me hard, so I love that weakness hex.
So I do have 3 out of 12 focus, so if you need any stuff...
Yeah, give me 1. You can throw 1 on me.
Unless you want to go get that last Acromantula.
I can do that.
So
I'll
I'm
give
going to be at this one for a little while.
And hopefully
Oh, I'm down to 66.
Oh no!
There we go. Should take care of it.
And so then when you're the only one left in the chamber, you can just sit back here and throw your spells up and help people out. Maybe hex someone who's currently in the battle. And this is a great place. And this is a great place to use those worthless bat bogey hexes and healing charms because they're not as beneficial for other things, but for here, might as well go ahead and use them.
I get to use them too.
Suppose Acromantula is giving me issues. There. I got all those hexes on that. That will help a lot.
We'll just hex them to death while you will take care of them. If you get out, I'll go in.
I'm hoping not. I have 4 potions left. 4 health potions left.
There, we got 2.5 minutes. We got
Yeah, we got
plenty
2.5
of time.
minutes. You don't have to use a potion right now. Because if you go out,
If you get knocked out, one of the two is we'll clean them up.
Probably won't. That only at 25, I'll be at 73.
Hey!
piece of cake.
Let me do the outro then. Is everyone still recording?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and stop it then.
Ooh, more of that.
So as you can see, this is a lot of fun to play with other people, especially when you get a full group of 5. There are just so many dynamics and things that can go back and forth between people, and to be able to see what one person is doing affecting what you are doing and helping each other out, makes it incredibly fun to make everyone come together and work together as a whole. This is something I really enjoy, if you can't tell. It is just a lot of fun to play with other people if you can find them. Again, I want to say a huge thank you to Ben and Julie for coming out. Thanks for allowing me to use your phones and record on them. This is a lot of fun, and we'll probably have to do it again sometime. Maybe I can squish them and get 5 on one screen. That would be an interesting time. There are a lot of people out there who have a group of regular players who get together and they start to know each other and how each other works on it. And you can really march through some of these really high chambers fairly quickly, especially as you all know how to work together and what everyone else in the group needs, what your weaknesses and benefits are. In this particular case, our Magizoologist wasn't an incredibly strong one. It was a little lower level. And so the other 2 of us were picking up the slack and helping out there. And then she could come along and heal us and help us out. And so it's a great way for lower level players to work alongside higher level players, and everyone can come together and unite. So this was a lot of fun for me to make, and I'd love to hear your comments, thoughts, and ideas down below. Go ahead and do that. And if you did like the video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, become a patron on Patreon. All those things really do help out the channel, and thank you for that. That means a lot. So I think that's about it for now. Until next time, have a magical day. Man, I wish I had brought 3 of these out, and we could have all opened them up together and seen what we had. But instead, you're just stuck with the one Rowena Ravenclaw.